earth do we need more bookshelves for?
For our collection of detective classics, of course. Got our Sherlock Holmes, Rex Stouts, Ellery Queens, Bulldog Drummonds.
So who's next?
Edgar Wallace. Need yards and yards for him.
We haven't even had an Edgar Wallace case yet.
Just looked out the window and seen something beginning with M.
Motorcycle?
Nope.
Monkey?
Nope.
Mussolini.
Don't be daft.
Getting warm?
Nope.
Anybody home?
Marriott.
Right.
Well, good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Beresford.
Morning.
Hope I'm not interrupting anything.
No, we were just discussing bookshelves.
Ah, yes. Very interesting. May I ask in what context?
For our Edgar Wallace books.
I've heard tell that he writes 2 books at a time, holding a pen in each hand, as well as dictating a third to his secretary.
Really? Oh, but as Tuppence points out, we haven't had an Edgar Wallace case yet.
Well, now, there's a coincidence for you.
Where?
Because I've come to ask the brilliant Beresfords for their help in a very sort of Edgar Wallace case.
Oh.
Wait till I put on my brilliant expression.
Well, there's no need to get swollen-headed about it just because you've solved a couple of cases with amazing luck.
Amazing skill.
Amazing luck.
In my experience, one is as useful as the other.
You should have been a diplomat, Inspector.
That's part of the job, too. Now, what would you two say to helping me round up a big gang?
Is there such a thing?
What do you mean, is there such a thing?
Well, I always thought that gangs were a figment of the writer's imagination.
Like super crooks and master criminals.
Well, true, master crooks and super criminals aren't that thick on the ground, but there's any amount of gangs hanging about.
Well, Inspector, are you telling me that you can't catch them?
Well, it's like this, sir.
Albert. Albert.
We, at the Yard, believe this gang is a bit la-di-da.
Who blue-blooded?
Knobs.
Upper class?
That sort of thing. Now, it's a well-known fact that my chaps at the Yard are fearless and strong as oxen and make first-class husbands.
But they find it a bit difficult to mix believably with the hors monde, so to speak.
With the... yes, you might put it like that, sir.
A mite flat-footed.
That's near the mark, miss.
What crime is this gang mixed up in?
Forgery. Banknotes. Hundreds of them floating about.
Without being spotted?
Exactly. Most artistic bit of work it is, too.
You don't happen to have one on you, do you?
Well, as a matter of fact, just by chance, I did happen to bring one along. Do you have a magnifying glass?
Do we have a magnifying glass? What sort of detective agency do you think this is?
Albert. Magnifying glass.
Magnifying glass?
Behave yourself, Albert.
Sorry, sir.
That young man.
Well, he's useless most of the time, and then suddenly he's completely expendable.
By Jove. Well, looks perfectly all right to me.
Let's have a look. Could have fooled me.
That's exactly what it's doing all over London. But after all the trouble the gang take over the overlaying of the watermark, they go and make a very silly mistake.
Where?
Look at the forgery first. How does that line of writing read?
The Bank of England promised to pay the bearer on demand the sum of £1.
And a genuine note?
Bank of England promised to pay the bearer on demand the sum. Where's the same?
Try again, sir. Look carefully.
Bank of England Oh, gosh, yes, I see.
What?
I promised to pay the bearer.
Oh, let me have a look. I promised to pay the bearer... Oh, yes, of course. Etc., etc., signed by the Secretary of the Treasury.
Right.
But that I and the promise are so close that it could easily be missed.
Exactly.
And who's going to read a banknote?
Well, I hope you are, Mrs. Beresford.
So where do we fit in, Inspector?
I'm sorry.
Oh. Yes, well,
No, I think that's my note, sir.
sorry. What exactly do you want us to do?
Well, Keep an eye out for these things?
Oh, no, a lot more than that, my dear. You see, all the Yard has found out so far is that these dud notes are being circulated from the West End.
But you don't know who by.
By whom?
Neither. But I'm sure it's somebody pretty high up in the social scale.
Oh, I see. So you want us to infiltrate? Nightclubs, gambling, dancing the night away.
Examining banknotes and getting hit over the head.
No, no, the danger will be minimal. Society folk are not violent.
No.
Really? Well, what about Mrs. Barney and Madame Farmy?
Well, two rotten apples don't spoil the harvest.
Nor make a summer.
Quite so, madam. And then there's the other side of this business.
The other side.
The other side of the channel. Some of these notes have been passed in France and Germany, Belgium and Holland, too.
Oh. Well, isn't there anyone that you suspect?
Well, this is where we have to tread carefully, as you can well understand. But between ourselves, there is one person who's interesting us a good deal. A Major Laidlaw. Ever heard of him?
Something to do with racing, isn't he?
Right.
Runs a stud farm.
Right again.
My cousin, Fruity Faulkner, knows him.
Fruity Faulkner? Would that be Captain James Faulkner?
That's the one.
Mind you, we've nothing against Laidlaw of the Yard, but there's a suspicion that he's been involved in a couple of rather shady transactions.
Rigged races, stewards' inquiries, that sort of thing.
Exactly. And then there's his wife.
What about her?
She's French.
Other side of the channel.
She has a train of admirers. She's very fond of the tables, gambling. The Laidlaws certainly spend a lot of money, and I'd like to know where it comes from.
You know, I think I met her once with Fruity. Yes, Marguerite. Ah, before we were engaged. Yes, very beautiful. Very French.
Well, I never met her.
Well, here's your opportunity, Mrs. Beresford. Do you know the Python Club in Upper Brook Street?
No,
Yes, I
don't
do.
think
Ah, well, that's where I met Marguerite Laidlaw.
Mind you, I'm sure it's a coincidence, but a lot of these dud notes have been circulated at the Python Club.
Now, I've heard that that place is not all it seems.
Oh?
They run a small casino in the back room for members who feel like a flutter.
That would be illegal.
Precisely.
I'm sure it's only a rumor.
Oh, but
The place is run impeccably. They have a very high-class clientele. And that's where the Laidlaws spend most of their evenings.
so where do we come in?
Get Fruity Captain James Faulkner, to put you both up for membership of the club. There's no danger of the Laidlaws, or whoever the forgers are, spotting you as detectives.
Oh, right, Your Honour.
We've got to know where the stuff comes from.
You mean Major Laidlaw goes out of a morning with an empty suitcase and comes back of an evening with it crammed to the gills full of forged banknotes. Now, having trailed him hither and yon, I catch him in the act.
I don't think it'll be that easy, sir.
I think my husband's talking allegorically.
Ah.
Or metaphorically.
Oh. And don't forget the lady.
No, my husband's not likely to forget a lady.
Or her father.
Oh, she has a father.
Oh, yes. Even French ladies have fathers.
Monsieur Heroulard.
Monsieur.
He might easily be the contact across the channel.
You leave him to us.
I will. I'll put some money into your bank account this afternoon
I said.
for expenses,
Of course.
so that you'll have some hard cash to gamble with.
And so that I can dress suitably.
Well, quite so. Mrs. Beresford must equip herself with suitable outfits for the Python Club. What about £100?
Are you sure you can print it in time? Shake well, but not too long. I say. Gosh.
Do you like it?
Do I like it? Well, it's absolutely flabbergasting.
And the shadow
Deep as the night.
in the cherry lipstick.
I bet it glows in the dark.
Oh, darling, you do say the most divine thing to boost a chap's ego.
And hardly a motive in sight.
Oh, what about this one?
Oh no, what you've got on is the cat's whiskers.
And I'll wear this another night.
You're quite a rake at heart, aren't you, darling? It's a good thing you're married to a steady, sober, sensible sort of chap like me.
Well, you wait till you get to the Python Club. You might not be as sober as you think. Now, what's that you're mixing?
A horse's neck. At last we have an Edgar Wallace case.
Slush.
What?
That's what they're called, forged notes. Slush. Oh, at last we're proper busies.
And we're out to get the crackler.
What exactly is a crackler when he's at home?
He isn't very often. It's a word I've just invented. He's a chap who forges banknotes and puts them into circulation. They crackle, so he's a crackler. Simple.
I think I prefer rustler. More sinister.
No, crackler's more Edgar Wallace.
Oh, okay.
Crackler it is then.
And we're out to get you.
There they are. Come and meet them, Marguerite. Tommy, you managed to get her.
Jimmy, splendid to see you again.
Yes, good to hear from you.
May I introduce you to my wife, known as Tuppence?
Delighted to meet you. Yes. And this lady, Mrs. Laidlaw, my friends, Mr. and Mrs. Beresford.
How do you do? How do you do?
Hello again.
Now, what to drink?
A horse's neck, please.
Marguerite?
Well, now. You tell me, yes? What is your wish?
Oh, I think I'll have a horse's neck, too.
Good. Then I, too, will have a neck of a horse.
Splendid. Take a pew. 3 GGs, Harry, and a whiskey soda.
Yes, Captain.
What's the other side of King Kong standing there?
Oh, that is the tables. Le chemin de fer, the poker, the roulette.
Can anyone go in?
Well, only if you know. The habitué, as they say.
Oh, can't we go in and have a bit of a flutter?
Nothing easier, dummy.
Here we are. 1 little GG, 2 GGs, and a third past the post. Bunghole.
Spin off your nose.
What about a bit of a whirl, Mrs. Beresford? On the dance floor, the old hot box.
Yes, say I. I do love to dance, don't I, Tommy? Don't I, Tommy?
Sorry, darling, what was that?
I love to dance.
And we will take our neck of a horses and invade the Holy of Holies.
Right you are.
It's very sad. It's very sad. I'll take another half a dozen blue points.
These are Whitstable, sir.
You know what? I thought I was back in the States. I'll have a half a dozen witches.
Very good, Mr. Ryder.
That is my husband. It's Shammy.
Card, please.
He could be told I was dead and he would not stop playing. Papa, this is Tommy.
Tommy Beresford. How do you do?
How do you do, Mr. Beresford? This is Major Lady Laurel.
Excuse us, Papa, we will try roulette. Chemin de fer is no fun, and this one is terribly, terribly rich.
Card, please.
50 livres.
Okay.
And £10 for me, monsieur.
By Jove, that was absolutely spiffing. You danced divinely.
Oh, you're no slouch yourself.
I say, may I call you Tuppence?
Oh, yes, please do.
And I'm Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Let's have another drink. Same again?
Oh, yes. A horse's neck, please.
One Gigi, Harry, and a whiskey soda.
Come on, Captain Faulkner.
There you go.
My word, your husband's a lucky fellow.
I've always thought so.
With you dancing the way you do.
Alas and alack, he doesn't enjoy it very much.
What? Doesn't cotton on to the odd spot of terpsichore?
Not really.
Well, we must put that right. I command you to come here night after night just to dance with me.
That's a date.
Dates. What's the damage, Harry?
To you, Captain, 30 shillings.
And to anybody else, a quid. There we are.
Oh, I say, they look nice.
These, I suppose they do.
And crackling. Where did you get them from? Hot off the press.
More likely gambling here in my case, or the races.
Thank you, madam.
Oh.
Keep the change, Harry.
Oh, thank you, Captain.
Bung ho.
Cheers. Oh.
Cut, Noah.
There.
Oh.
Well, I think that's enough for me for one night.
Oh, Tommy, too sad. But I must have another throw. 2 or 3. Look at my husband.
I'll see you later, perhaps.
I insist. I will winkle you out.
Probably fell over in the paddock. He really did.
Did you win?
Not exactly. Did you have a nice dance?
It was a divine piece of terpsichore.
That's
What?
Oh, my word, you're a lucky dog, Tommy.
Thanks.
I say, Tuppence, what about a flutter in the old Holy of Holies?
Oh, rather.
I'll stake you to a couple of tenors.
Oh, no, a tenner's much too heady for me. A quid's more my pace.
Just as you say. Come on, then.
Have fun.
Yes, sir.
Horse's neck, please.
Yes, sir.
Evening.
Good evening.
You can't beat the French, can you?
I beg your pardon?
For the French, you can't beat them. I refer to Mrs. Laidlaw, Marguerite. Now, she is the most beautiful woman I've ever set eyes on.
Yes, she's very lovely.
I'm from America, sir.
I thought you might be.
Tank Rider, New Jersey.
Tommy Beresford. St. John's Wood.
Yeah, I am pretty new to this kind of highlight. I only made my pile a little while ago.
Really?
Right. I've come to Europe to see life.
Where else have you been, may I ask?
Yeah, France, Gay Paris, Berlin, Vienna.
Belgium?
No, not yet.
Your horse's neck, sir.
Ah, thanks. Would you like a drink?
I'm still going, thank you.
I'm afraid that's the smallest I've got.
That's quite all right, sir.
Well, cheers.
It's a terrible shame. Such a lovely creature's got to have money worries.
Jimmy, darling, do me a big favor.
Of course, Marguerite. Anything within my feeble power.
Tomorrow at Ascot, I fancy very much penning Prince for the 4 o'clock. I'm told he cannot lose.
And there's your backing him. He wouldn't dare to, my dear.
£20 on the nose.
Righto.
Oh, let me have those for a couple of tenors, Joey. I can't get my life away with tenors.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Well?
Difficult to tell.
Well, I call a 20 from Madame Laidlaw via Jimmy.
Minor change from the bar. What's that?
Okay.
Whatever for?
Sober you are.
I beg your pardon?
Sober us both up. I'm absolutely swimming in horse's neckness.
In what?
Horse's neckness.
Horses' necks.
That's what I said. Horse's neckness.
Good grief, what's that apparition you're wearing?
Do you like it? It's my new negligee.
Like it or not, you didn't. Oh, tuppence, you did. You bought it out of the money that Marriott gave us.
But he said I should dress the part.
Yes, in working or even waking hours. But at this time of night...
And it gives me a feel of the thing. An habitué of an illegal gambling club. Long cigarette holders, hangovers. Why, don't you like it?
Yes. But will you stop being so damned feminine while I'm trying to examine these damned banknotes?
Well, just pretend that I'm not here.
Right. Thanks very much. Now, out of the 4 I got as change from the bar, only 1 is a dud.
That could be anybody's.
Exactly. And out of your 20, 4 are forgeries.
Madame Laidlaw got those from her husband.
Who was playing chamois.
So he could have got them from the cashier. Or from anywhere.
So that doesn't help much.
Well, never mind. That means we'll have to go back to the Python Club and I can wear another dress.
Tuppence, concentrate on this bit. These dud notes are all new and crisp, so they can't have been handled by very many people.
Drink your chocolate, darling, while it's hot.
Stinger.
Yes, Major.
A horse's neck.
Yes, Major.
Are you racing today?
Yes.
Ascot?
Yes.
Successful.
Yes.
Did Pennine Prince win?
No.
I only asked because I think your wife backed it.
Oh?
You obviously enjoy gambling.
Yes.
Me too.
Oh.
But I don't have much luck.
No?
And then I usually run out of cash.
Yes.
I often wonder why I don't make my own. Then I could gamble all day long.
Yes.
I suppose like most good gamblers, you keep your cards pretty close to your stomach.
Yes.
Don't give much away.
No.
I hate to ask, but could you change a £10 note?
I can change that for you, madam.
Cheers.
$100, 110, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 200.
Thank you, Jimmy. And jolly rotten luck.
Why, she's a little witch, that one, huh? You talk about a poker face.
I'll win it back tomorrow night. Drink?
Mr. Ryder, I think you should go back to your hotel.
What, the crop? Yeah, I don't fancy that.
Oh, I know what he looks like.
How?
Photos in the Sporting and Dramatic. Major Laidlaw and friends at the Derby, that sort of tribe. So, what have I got to do then, sir?
You get on your motorcycle and follow him to Ascot. Now, if he heads for the Royal Enclosure, you won't be able to get in there.
Why not?
Because you'll need a topper or a large picture hat with flowers on it.
Can't you lend me one?
Anyhow, the important thing is to watch if he stops anywhere.
And if he does, make a note of everything he says. Or does.
And if he's carrying anything.
Like what?
Oh, briefcase, satchel, anything that could hold banknotes.
Right. Leave it to me.
Oh, wait a minute. He lives in Eardley Mansions off Baker Street and drives a Rolls.
I'm on my way, partner.
I don't think all those gangster films are a good influence on our Albert.
Seems to be the trouble.
Trouble? Oh, it's this here toggle.
Where?
Here.
I don't see nothing.
Well, driving what you do, you like us not don't have no toggles. Oh, fixed it.
Right, so what's the game?
Game? What you on about?
You've been following us all day.
I ain't.
I saw you outside my gentleman's house this morning.
Oh, me?
Yes,
You. Why are you following us?
I ain't. I've been to the races and all.
You best buzz off.
I was just going.
And if I ever set eyes on you again, my lad, it will be the worse for you.
Who the devil do you think you are? I said. Have as much right to be standing here as what you have.
And did he threaten you?
Threaten me? No, sir, I'll threaten them. Anyway, he comes over right, throwing his weight
But
about.
did you see money change hands?
Yeah, at this here posh pub. Well, first he takes out a wad of notes, strips one off for the waiter, and hands the rest to the other bloke.
And then after that bit where you threatened them?
They went straight to the Python Club.
You're sure?
Yep, straight there.
Oh, thanks, Albert. You've done just swell.
Ah, shucks, missus, it weren't nothing.
Thank you, Albert. Well, what do you think, darling?
I don't know. Could it just be Monsieur Erolard paying Major Laidlaw back a debt?
Yes. But it'd hardly bring out forged notes in the full light of day.
Of course, you know Major Laidlaw's blind.
Blind?
There's a bat.
I don't believe you.
That's why that frog always stays so close to him, leading him about.
Albert, why didn't you tell us before?
I only saw him today for the first time.
That's gin.
Oh la la, I lose.
Well, I'm afraid you all lose, folks. That'll be, 50 pounds then, you owe me.
May I join you at the next game?
No, no, I shall see if I can do better at roulette. Will you join me?
Mr. Beresford, why don't I buy you a drink?
If you'll excuse me, I'll join you later.
Well, what's your poison, young man?
I wouldn't like to tell you just at the moment.
10 noix. Ah, madame. Voilà. Madame, merci bien. Voilà. Merci. Excusez, madame, merci.
Ah, my tummy, here you are. Look, I've won and won.
Yes, you certainly have. But is it safe showing off all that money?
Oh.
Well, let's just hope you don't lose it all before the evening is out.
Look, why don't I change that for you? Two bigger notes.
Oh, you English, so careful, so wise, and so charming.
They're all forgeries.
But where did she get them from?
She won them. At roulette, I think.
Very smart.
Well, you spent most of your evening dancing with Jimmy.
What's that got to do with anything? For all we know, he could be the chap forging the notes.
Oh, no.
Very Edgar Wallace.
Not Jimmy.
Anyway, I think it's fun mixing business with pleasure. Matter of fact, I haven't enjoyed myself so much for years.
We're not supposed to be enjoying ourselves. We're supposed to be running a gang of forgers to earth.
And what about you and that French phony?
Purely business.
And no pleasure?
Purely minimal. I see it as a process of elimination.
What's that mean?
It means if you and I were accused of forgery and it wasn't me, then I'm eliminated and it must be you.
I might have known.
You see, it could be any one of the habitués of the Python Club.
Habitués are the people who go there.
Well, I know that.
Or if it's a gang, as Inspector Merritt thinks, then it could be all of them.
Yes, that makes sense. Major Laidlaw, even though blind. His wife, her father, Monsieur Erolard, that American chap, Jimmy Faulkner, even Harry the barman.
But what if it isn't a gang?
Ah, well, then it could be any one of them.
Mind you, One of them might be the leader of the gang, but the other members might not be the habituals.
Habitués. Yes, that's an idea.
Like in Jailbait, there was this little old woman, right? And
We
she
saw
was...
that, Albert.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Now, if this were an Edgar Wallace case, then the criminal could be somebody pretending to be somebody else.
The Ringer. There's a detective that turns out not to be a detective.
Yes, we saw that too, Albert.
Sorry.
Mind you, if the Major isn't really a Major...
Or even blind.
Marguerite Laidlaw isn't really French, her father isn't her father, and Jimmy...
No, hang on. Just because these people are handling the counterfeit money doesn't necessarily mean that they're printing it.
Oh, no, of course not, but...
What is it, darling?
You all right, Mrs. B?
She's having one of her hunches.
Whitehall. 1212.
Scotland Yard.
Inspector Merritt.
She's onto something.
Do you remember the case of the frightened lady? Shh, shh, shh.
Inspector Merritt. Mrs. Beresford. No, not yet. But there's something I want you to do for me. Phone all the big hotels and find out if a large number of forged notes have been used to pay big bills. Yes. We'll wait here till you ring.
Well? Here, come on, Mrs. B, spill the beans.
If I'm right, it's too dangerous for us.
I'll only be a minute, darling.
See you in the gaming room.
Righto. Mr. Ryder. What are you doing?
A goddamn hat stand. Never saw anything like that in New Jersey. Holy smoke, Beresford, you know what? You got two heads.
Ah, but I've only got one hat.
Wow, what do you know? Sure you have. That is remarkable. Why don't you try that one? Boy, am I juiced. Oh. Missed all my drinks earlier on. Missed them in a beer tanker. Bet me I wouldn't.
Oh? Who did?
Well, who do you think? Marguerite. Just for fun.
Look, old chap, why don't you go home?
You got no home to go to.
What about your hotel?
Well, hotel's not a home. Anyway, I promised Marguerite I'm going to join her after the treasure hunt.
What treasure hunt?
Well, I'm telling you, young man, the treasure hunt. The British aristocracy, they do it all the time. Anyway, she took me there in her car.
Where?
I don't know. Cobblestones, it was 500 pounds.
Oh, you're pulling my leg.
I'm telling you, it was white something.
Whitehall?
No.
Whitechapel?
That's it.
And you found £500 there?
I didn't. She did. She left me outside. She's always leaving me outside. It's very sad.
Do you think you can find your way back again?
Well, of course. Hank Ryder doesn't lose his bearings that easy.
Well, come on, then. There we go. Careful now. Down we go. Mind your head.
Hey, is this a Rolls Royce?
No, chap, it's a Bentley, actually.
How's it, man?
Allez. Bonsoir, chérie.
Tu t'en vas, papa?
Oui. Malheureusement. Et demain matin, on sera à Paris.
Ben, tant bien.
Yes?
To earn the money to play here, madame.
Of course. Bon voyage.
Merci.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Toodle-pip.
Toodle-pip.
Where are we?
Whitechapel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, listen to me for a minute. Yeah, I think that we turn to the right somewhere down there. You better keep going.
There's a phone box.
Hey, what do you want a phone for?
Well, the Python Club. Let Tuppence know where I am.
Why do you think she'll be worried?
I hope so.
No sign of your errant husband?
Apparently not.
A dance while waiting?
No, thank you, Jimmy. I'm tired.
Drink then.
Oh, why not? A little champagne would be reviving.
Good cow.
See that pub?
Yes?
It's down there, down that street there. You want to drop in for a quick one?
Well, it's probably closed.
Okay. All right, turn down there. Why are we doing all this? Some of that moolah is still buried down here.
Could be.
Are we putting one over on somebody?
Possibly.
You dog. Hey, that's it. Pull over down there.
Sorry, Jimmy. Mustache.
Down here.
Where are we going?
Whitechapel.
Why?
All he said was cats. There's no one. She went in there. You sure? I'm sure. She left me down at the end of the alley.
But how can you tell? They all look the same. Like the story of the princess and the soldier.
I don't know that one. But Marguerite's a real princess, but certainly no soldier.
Yes, well, they put a cross on the door to show which one it was.
I'll be darned.
I think I'll do the same.
Why?
In case we're in danger. Cats about it.
What do we do now? We step inside.
Being careful. We do.
Hey, someone coming down the alley. Let me handle it.
Good evening, Mr. Beresford.
Willie the oyster opener.
Turn out the gas.
Ah, the headquarters.
Shut your trap. Put your hands up.
Got him, boys? So, Mr. Busy. Reached the end of the trail, huh?
Mr. Hank Ryder. What a surprise.
I have been laughing fit to bust these past few days.
Really?
You know, I was on to you right from the start. I knew you weren't really in with that crowd at the Python. Let you play about for a bit until I got you suspicious of the lovely Marguerite. And then I said to myself, now's the time to lead him to it.
And now I'm on the spot.
Well, it looks like it. I mean, I'm not giving up this business for the sake of two amateur peepers.
So what are you going to do? Bump me off?
Well, have you got any other suggestions? I wouldn't bank on that cross that you put on that door.
Why not?
Well, I know that cockeyed fairy story. I went back and I put a cross on all the other doors. By the time they find the right door in your body, me and the boys will be out of the country.
With Major Laidlaw and his wife.
Damn! God, they're only interested in horses. They're not in our league, Sonny.
Really? Well, let's get it over with.
Thought you were so clever, didn't you? We were a step ahead of you all the way.
Well done, sir.
Just in time, Inspector.
Tommy? Are you all right?
Never better. Well, Inspector, you were right about the Python Club. May I introduce you to Mr. Hank Ryder, his henchmen, and equipment? I said I'd get to you, Crackler, and I have.
Crackler? What the hell are you talking about?
You'll find it in the next criminal dictionary. Etymology doubtful.
Take him away.
Well done, Albert.
But how did you get those cats to lead us here?
Oh, I not only equip myself with chalk, but with a file of Valerian.
What on earth, Valerian?
It stinks to high heaven, but cats love it. Oh, no, I'll keep them. Cats is what you said, and cats is what I look for. They was outside the door when I arrived.
But there was no need to go and pick up Mrs. Beresford. It could have been dangerous.
I knew she wouldn't want to miss all the fun.
No, quite right.
Well, thank you very much for your help.
Always a pleasure, Inspector. Though I have to admit it was my clever wife who first suspected the Yankee.
The hotel where he was staying had hundreds of pounds worth of forged banknotes palmed off.
Mind you, I wouldn't trust those others at the Python Club further than I could throw them. Fiddles, perhaps, but no forgeries.
I'm afraid it turned out more dangerous than I'd anticipated.
What with Jimmy Faulkner dancing too divinely.
Marguerite fluttering her eyelids at Tommy.
Yes, well, good night, miss.
See you in the morning.
Not to mention all those cocktails.
Hanging on her everywhere.
So, it was quite a dangerous job.
A very dangerous job.